Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Mad About CNC. I've been away for a while, haven't done a video for quite some time, had a bit of ill health, built a new house, and I built a new workshop, and I love it. Anyhow, I've been back in the swing of things. My first project is sitting right over here. I've done a rebirth of an old CNC machine, and so welcome back to my channel. Okay everyone, enough talk, let's look at the machine. Come over here and have a look here. This is an old ProCam machine. It's 15 years old, done a lot of work in its time. Mechanically still really good, good bones. Electronically, controller wise, a granny. She's not much chop. So we decided to pull the controller out and do a complete refurb on it. We ended up, I talked to a lot of controller suppliers. In the end, I ended up going with Masso. Masso's a standalone controller, doesn't need a PC. I really like that idea. No PC, no hassles. It's still a young controller, but I think it will mature into a really good controller that'll be, it'll kill Mach 3 eventually, and I don't think eventually is that far away. It's on its way to doing that now. This was the old piece. This was the old controller. Inside this box, which is quite a big box, as you can see, was a full PC, all the control cards and other stuff. Used a floppy drive, which was in the side. That control panel, which I know it looks pretty crappy. It's only temporary. This was the original control panel, which I still wouldn't mind using. I just got to work out how to use it, how I can talk to it. And I could replace that, put that back on. Because the Masso has USB, so everything's stored on USB, programs, everything. Still uses a mouse and keyboard, which is new. They're using a mouse rather, I should say, is a new function, only in the last couple of updates. The machine itself, 8 kilowatt router, tool change, electro spindle. We replaced all the motors. All the drive motors. That's the new hybrid stepper with AC drives. That was the old motor. That's what the old motors were. They were brushed DC servos, encoder on the back. They still work, but brushed DC servos. Who uses them anymore? If you look down in there, you can see there's the Masso in there. That's the VFD for the router, for the spindle motor. Power supply, 24 volt power supply to run the Masso and all the I/O. There for the vacuum pump. Pretty basic stuff under there, but there's a lot less in there than there was before. That's for sure. Tool changer is under here. Underneath here, I can pull this open. There's actually, it was a 14 tool changer, but Masso can only handle 12, so that's fine. I'm going to take off the first and last tool holder and reduce it down to the 12, so that the new owner of this machine doesn't put a tool in there and go, why doesn't it pick that up? So that'll be fixed. The machine was 3600 by 1800. That was its full machining capacity. The new owner didn't want that. He's only ever going to machine 2400 by 1200. So we reduced the vacuum table down because it has a full vacuum table. That 3618 was a full vacuum table. So we reduced it down to a 2400 by 1200 vacuum table. Now that bit of board is actually glued down and becomes the new vacuum table. So there's only vacuum under that board. And if we walk around to the back of the machine, you'll see the pump is a big 10 horsepower pump. I won't start it because it sounds like a jet engine when it's running, but it's more than sufficient to do the job. If you look at the back of the gantry, you'll see a silver box there with 3 dots. We'll go and have a closer look. If you hadn't noticed in the electrical box in the front, there was no drives because I put the drives in here. The reason I did that was I reduced a lot of cabling. I said, so the drives are here. The cables that came with the drives actually reach the Z motor, the Y motor, and the X motor is inside here. So I didn't have to extend all the cables. All I had to bring was the logic from the Masso to the drives here. If I hadn't have done that, those cables to the drives would have been coming out of there, going all the way along there and up there. Originally, I think they were only three metres, I think. So the best way was to just stick them up in there, and I didn't have to worry about it anymore. Doesn't worry. As I said, it's a 8 kilowatt or 10 horsepower tool change router motor with an electro spindle. Don't know much else I can tell you about it really. The dust extraction, I'm not too sure about how well that dust extraction is going to work. I've been told it's supposed to work pretty good, but I don't know. So maybe in the next video we'll start it up and you can see it running.